Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis with some news and rumours. I actually recorded this video yesterday, so this is the second take of my video, so if my brother is around he'll probably hear me and think, why the hell is he saying the same thing? Before I start, I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers who I am also subscribed to. He gave me a shout out in his most recent video, and that is Commissar Warwick. He is an Imperial Guard player. He will not call the Master Militarum, so don't even try. He's a NID player. He also does some non-40k stuff, some Lord of the Rings. He's just starting out. He does some really good battle reports and some very useful tactical advice. He's basically a better version of me, if you want a good idea of how useful his channel is. And I'll put a link in the description to his channel, so go over there, subscribe if you haven't to him. It'll be well worth your time. Okay, so in terms of rumours, I only have one, although it sort of leads into a couple more. As I record this, today is, if my phone tells me, I think it's the 1st of May, it might be the 2nd of May. It's the 2nd of May. And the rumour is that in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, the next edition of 40k will be out. Yeah, that is what everybody is saying. That on the 27th of May, there will be a new edition of Warhammer 40,000. 7th edition, for those of you who are keeping count. And this is really weird, because it was only a year and a half, 2 years ago that we launched 6th edition. Games Workshop launched 6th. And yes, everybody will admit probably that there have been issues with 6th. But it's the shortest edition. I mean, 3rd edition was about 8 years long, 4th edition was about 4 years long, 5th edition was 4 years long, and if 6th edition is only 2 years, that's worrying. Either Games Workshop have realised that 6th has a lot of issues that they think they can fix, or some cynics will say it's a money grab. We don't know. We really don't know. And to be fair, we don't even know what's in the rules. We don't know about any rules. There have been no real leaks. So we don't know what's coming. We can only speculate, and so if you go on forums like Daka, Bell of Lost Souls, Fate, and all the other places, they will all say different things. There are rumour threads going around, but they seem to be very conflicting, and nobody seems to know, because Games Workshop, as they normally do with editions at least, maybe not with codices, hold their cards very close to the chest. You don't really know what to expect from them. It was suggested a few months ago that this would be the time when Fantasy 9th edition would be dropping, rather than 40k 7th. Nobody knew about 40k 7th. Everyone was thinking, oh, Fantasy is now 3 or 4 years old, and so Fantasy 9th edition will be around soon. They were thinking just after or before the Wood Elves release, which has just come out, by the way. And nobody really saw this coming. And then something weird happened on Games Workshop's website. The Games Workshop website shows all the products that they have, and it had a reboot quite recently, and now the rulebook is out of stock. This happens. Stuff goes out of stock, it gets restocked, reshipped and resupplied. However, now their site, from what I've heard in several places, the US, the UK where I am, and various places, say it's no longer available. Why is it no longer available? We don't know. But you don't tell us that a rulebook is no longer available. Rulebooks should not be limited edition. They will not sell out of rulebooks and say we're not going to print anymore, unless there's another one coming to replace it. And this got everybody thinking about why are they retiring this book? There must be a new one coming. There must be a 7th edition, and this is what set the rumour ball rolling. Of course, because we're still a month away, it's still very much a drip-fed thing. We don't know a lot. We barely know a thing. We're all just speculating. However, there are a couple of things that have been not confirmed, but speculated quite heavily. One is the box game, for example. I don't have it to hand, but 5th edition's box set, which I have, contained Marines and Orcs, and it was Assault on Blackreach. Widely acclaimed as a pretty decent box game. Maybe not perfectly balanced, because it had Dreadnoughts and Terminators on one side and Deathcopters and Knobs on the other, but it was a good game, and it came with a nice pocket-sized rulebook. 6th edition had Dark Vengeance, which was probably even more unbalanced, particularly with the new Codices releases, because Dark Angels became much more powerful. Chaos Space Marines, as many think, got hit with the Nerf Bat. The Helldroop, and the Cultists versus the Chaos Terminators, it was against the Deathwing, it was not a fair fight. So most box sets aren't, but they gave you nice full armies, a rulebook, blast templates, measuring things. I'm not going to tell you what we call ours because it's a little bit maybe find it offensive. I'm not going to repeat that anyway. And now the speculation is the next box game will contain Blood Angels and Orcs. Blood Angels are a early to mid 5th edition army, a assault marine army. Assault marines are troops. And at this point, in 6th, in this meter, the gun line, the tanks, the super heavies and everything else, it's very, very bad. Blood Angels, in terms of, if you were to put a ranking on the meter, most people would just say, Talon Eldar, work your way down, Blood Angels. Right down there, at the bottom of the meter. Because in most terms, most people think they suck. At least what they do. And so people think, okay, they're going in the box game. Now, if we look back at the few previous box games, Space Marines had a Codex the month later, and Orcs had some new models. Dark Angels and Chaos have both had a Codex since Dark Vengeance. So therefore, Blood Angels are either going to be due another model wave, or the best news would be a Codex, because it will be 6 years old by this point, the Blood Angels Codex. And so it would be good to get a reboot on it. Well, at least 5 years old, I think, maybe 4. But it's definitely been around a while, so it'd be good to see it rebooted and brought back up to be at least competitive. The Orcs are a different kettle of fish. They are over 6 years old. They were released in January 08. And they're the oldest codex now still in print, because obviously Black Templars have gone, Dark Eldar, Eldar Tau have all been updated. All the older codices have now been brought into line. And so it's only the Orc Codex that is still a 4th edition dex. There might be another 4th edition codex that I don't think there are with this increased release schedule. And so you're thinking, yay, new Orc Codex, must be. Which would be great. I'd love a new Orc Codex, because I'm an Orc player, or at least I was, and it would be nice to know what changed. And I'll probably see it on the forums before I even buy the book. I'm still saving up for my Astra Militarum, and for the High Elves. So they're saying that it will contain snap fit models, as it always does, Mega Knobs, boys, grots, some Assault Marines, a captain, but it won't be a complete army. It will be a very much pared down. And they're suggesting that the rulebook will be very pared down, as in not the actual rulebook itself, but the pocketbook that you get supplied in the box will be the basics. It will be how to play with these models, and maybe how to use infantry and jump infantry and resolve the basics of the game. It won't talk about vehicles, it won't talk about psychers, it won't talk about all the other things. And that's interesting, because why would you do that? Yes, it would help ease the hobbyist in, but they've then got to go out and buy a hardback rulebook, and I've never bought a 40k hardback rulebook. I haven't even got the 6th edition hardback rulebook. I'm going to tell you now, I don't have the 6th edition rulebook. I use James's, Ben's and everybody else's 6th edition rulebook when I'm playing off of battle reports. So it's interesting. Why would they pare it down? Again, the cynics will say it's just a money grab. They want you to go out and buy their massive 500-page hardback that's going to apparently cost $100 and be so much background. And there are a lot of people, there's a 6-page thread on Daka Daka, which is just people taking the mickey. And one of them was actually quite funny. It was, the rulebook will be blank pages for you to make your own rules up. Forging the narrative. I'm going to do a video about forging the narrative in the next couple of weeks, actually. So stay tuned for that. So this is what we've heard. There will be a 40k rulebook at the back end of May. And there will be a new box game containing Blood Angels and Orcs. The Orc Codex will follow straight after, and then the Space Wolves will actually be the next release. Not Blood Angels, Space Wolves. Because they're actually quite an old dex as well. They're not much younger than the Blood Angels, although I don't think they need as much of a fix. They just need some Skyfire, some flyers, and that'll be all they really need, because they have no anti-air at the moment. Not even Long Fangs can take flat missiles. They don't have flyers. They're too old for that. They need just bringing into line with 6th, 7th, whatever it will be. Blood Angels, there's been no codex officially speculated, but we can expect that the fact they're in the box game will at least lead to a new wave of models, if not a new codex. So, as concerns the rules, as I've said, it's all pie in the sky, it's all speculative. We know nothing. The community knows little to nothing, rules-wise. A few things have been thrown out. If you see my Twitter account, I have been sharing some stuff from Bell of Lost Souls on what they have heard and what they are speculating via Fayette, via 40k Radio, and everyone else are speculating. One that I took a particular interest in is something that's drawn off fantasy, and that's a percentage-based force organisation chart. Because the force organisation chart with super heavies and Psyker and Inquisition and allies and Legion of the Damned and everything else has become really big and convoluted and clunky. So the rumour is force organisation chart, gob, shove, buy. And they'll bring in the percentage system for fantasy. It won't be the same as the percentage system for fantasy, which is 25% minimum on your core, your troops, and then 25% on your lords and heroes, and 25% special and rare. It will be tweaked. I don't know what the exact numbers are, I can't remember, and I doubt the numbers that were quoted will be correct. But that's the room, there'll be a percentage system. Will this work? I don't know. Super expensive Death Star builds may see problems, because if you've got a Dark Eldar Beast Star, you're going to probably need to run 2,000 point army just to be legal to field it, particularly if you're playing the 25% thing. So that's interesting. Apparently there'll be a new Realm of Battle game board, which is your 6x4 tabletop board, which is actually quite a nice purchase. I don't have one, but it does look quite cool. There'll be terrain in the box game, apparently. And there's just been a lot of speculation. Nobody really knows. So what I'll do is I will put a link in the description to the official 40k 7th edition Rumours thread on Daka Daka. It is 35 pages long at the time of recording, so yes, it's incredibly long, but the thread creator, the rumour tracker as he calls himself, will hopefully keep that front page updated. That's how I draw most of my information, as well as looking at Bell of Lost Souls. And that's how I get my information, that's how I'll get you to get your information. Keep a track of my Twitter feed for what I retweet from Bell of Lost Souls and their feedback on what they think is coming for 40k 7th edition. So keep a track of them there. I will put a link to Commissar Warwick's channel in the description, like I said I was going to do at the start. My next video will be on Tuesday, and that will be Dark Angel's Fast Attack. I will then probably do a video on Forging the Narrative, because it's something that's been very commonly associated with 6th, and I want to talk about it before 6th edition supposedly disappears. Then I'll finish Dark Angels, and then I'll do something. I'm not sure yet. I don't really plan too far in advance. So that's all for today. Let me know what you think about these rumours. Drop any comments or tweet me. I don't really mind how you do it. And just let me know. Drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you around, and thank you for watching.